Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at a Collecta figure, and you can see right ahead of you, this is the Collecta Deluxe Uintatherium, and I am super excited to take a look at it with you guys. I recently got a box full of Collecta figures, so I've got some more to take a look at with you guys right now. One thing I've said time and time again is that I think as far as Collecta goes, one thing they excel at more so than pretty much anybody else that I can think of is their prehistoric mammals. Their prehistoric mammals are so beautiful consistently. They are just pretty much always just off the charts beautiful, in my opinion. That never cease to amaze me when it comes to just how incredibly nice looking they can get one of their prehistoric mammal figures to look, and that's pretty much what I'm seeing straight away here with this Uintatherium. I think it looks fantastic at first glance. The sculpt, the pose, the detail, everything looks really beautiful. So let's get a closer look and we can judge up close. So if we start up here at the head sculpt, you can see that the head sculpt does look really nice. You can get a beautiful idea of the bone structure and the skull shape of the animal. Really nicely portrayed here by Collecta. The eyes are painted quite nicely, and they do include a beautiful gloss. They are nothing more than a blackish coloration. You can see just how nice that it really does look. It has a mild amount of sloppiness to it when it comes to the eye paint, but really not much at all. It's very hard to even pick up on when it comes to that slight amount of sloppiness, but it does look really quite nice, especially from a step back. The nostrils are sculpted really nicely up here on the front of the snout. You've got the very peculiar looking skull shape of this animal. Very weird looking animal, I will say, but the Collecta version here is incredibly nicely done. You can see just how beautiful kind of the fur is all over the head. It's really sculpted out quite beautifully. The large teeth here, these fangs kind of that you see on the top of the mouth, look really nice. Also, beautifully painted. They are definitely painted with a very nice whitish coloration, and it's almost kind of like an ivory type color, more so than a bright white. You can also take note of the teeth on the lower jaw there. They actually look to be really beautifully painted as well. There doesn't really appear to be any sloppiness to them. Can't really get inside the mouth, but the inside of the mouth is painted and does look really nice as well. Really nicely sculpted ears right here. They definitely look very beautiful. I love the coloration of this. There are just so many different tones of colors when it comes to darker browns and lighter browns, and it's really brilliantly applied in a very realistic fashion. Collecta definitely does a very nice job when it comes to these prehistoric mammals. Even though I say that all the time, I really just can't get over how beautiful they consistently look. You can see some nice skin folding and kind of folding of the body right here in the neck, a lot of wrinkling going on. You don't see that really over on this side, primarily only on this side as the animal's turning its head to the left. So it's really bunching the skin up here, and you can see that shine through brilliantly right there in the sculpt. You can again pick up on just how nice the fur looks all over the place. Even up here, this kind of tuft of fur that runs along the spinal column of the animal. Really nicely sculpted, and it has a nice dark black kind of a coloration that runs down, and it has this striping that really nicely runs all over the body, and it's something that I kind of wouldn't really have expected on an animal like this. But Collecta has pulled it off so nicely and so beautifully. It really looks very legit. It kind of looks like it really does belong on the animal, and that's kind of cool because it's something that I personally wouldn't have expected, but Collecta apparently has just proven me wrong, and my thoughts are incorrect because it really does look quite nice. When you come down here into the shoulder, you can see the shoulder blade protruding from the skin a little bit there. You can again pick up on the very nice fine fur all over the place. The fur is really nicely sculpted. Some beautiful musculature right there in the front leg. As you run down the leg, you can see the nails are painted really nicely. The foot sculpt overall looks really beautiful as well. You've got kind of some fluffy fur here in the rear of the leg. You can also pick up on a little bit of the musculature right there in that part of the front leg. You can again see how nicely sculpted the fur looks, really beautifully everywhere. You can also see the fur kind of stretching and the skin stretching there off of the leg. Beautiful detailing of the fur as you run back the length of the body. Look how really nicely elaborated that hip bone is. You can also sort of take note of the rib cage here, but it's almost kind of hard to pick up on. I can feel it as I move my finger across it, but visually on the camera it's a little hard to see, but it is definitely there. and helps to really make you feel like there is a bone structure underneath the animal. Nice fur as we run down the length of the leg. Very kind of thick, fluffier fur as we get to the rear of the leg. Nicely sculpted out foot on this side as well. Beautifully painted nails once again. And you can see that this is about as anatomically correct as you're going to find, as you have the genitals and the rectum present here. Really awesome attention to detail. Just making sure that this is as realistic as it could possibly get. And then you've got the nicely sculpted tail that comes out to a very realistic curve here at the end, and then it transitions to a blackish coloration for the little tuft of hair on the end of the tail. If we look at this side, again, we don't have those wrinkles or those folds of the skin and the fur on this side because the animal is now stretching the skin when it's looking to the left. So that's really beautifully portrayed there, and really nice attention to detail. You've got some skin kind of hanging here in the throat. Really nicely sculpted out. Beautifully sculpted shoulder blade again on this side, and some very nice musculature. And then we run down the length of the leg. You can again see that the nails are really beautifully painted on this side as well. Painted with a nice grayish color. You can see just how nice the sculpt and detail is of the fur. Once again, you can see the skin stretching on both sides of the legs. The rib cage is also ever so slightly present on this side as well. Beautiful hip bone up here on this side. Nicely sculpted out musculature again, and we get down into the rear leg on this side. Looks really, really nice. So yeah, this is definitely a beautiful model when it comes to an Uintatherium. Something that you really don't ever see get figures. So thankfully for Collecta, they have provided us with not only a Deluxe Uintatherium, but a beautiful Deluxe Uintatherium. So as far as the size goes on the Uintatherium, from the snout to the end of the tail, you're looking at about 7 inches or 18 centimeters, pretty much on the dot. And for a height, it's about almost 3.5 inches or about 8.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is the green Papo T-Rex, and you can see that our Uintatherium wants absolutely nothing to do with this and is trying to take the high road and get out of here. But next to the Papo Rex, you should definitely be able to tell that this Collecta Deluxe Uintatherium is exactly that, a deluxe figure. So it is pretty large in comparison to the also large Papo T-Rex. Definitely a beautifully sized figure and gives you quite a bit of bang for your buck. So this Collecta Deluxe Uintatherium, just like pretty much every other prehistoric mammal that Collecta produces, is just beautiful. It is easily one of the best Uintatherium figures that has ever existed, in my opinion, and is really beautifully done. The sculpt work is really nice. It looks beautiful all over the animal. You can see just the muscles tensing and flexing exactly the way you would expect for the position that it's in. It's definitely portrayed here as a very strong animal, which is something you would definitely expect to see when it comes to this type of an animal. I think the pose and everything is also really nice. Kind of gives me the feeling that maybe it was startled by something and is sort of maybe taking a leap back away from it. So it could make a very cool diorama if you have a predator that is of the same time era as this Uintatherium. To include together, it could definitely look very cool. Again, the sculpt is beautiful. The paint application is also equally as nice. It is really wonderfully painted with lots of beautiful shading. Many different variations of light and dark browns have been included, and you got that very cool design that kind of runs down along the back, that nice black striping to help give it a little bit of flashiness while still really looking like it could really look this way when it comes to the overall coloration with the browns and the dark browns. It's all very natural looking and generally looks like what I would expect to see on an animal like this. So this is without question a pure beauty when it comes to a Collecta figure, and I say that continuously when it comes to their prehistoric mammal range, but that's because they pretty much always deliver an unbelievable prehistoric mammal figure, and this Uintatherium is definitely no different. So if you do want to pick this up for yourself, I will include a link where you can pick this up on everythingdinosaur.com. I highly recommend both the site and this unbelievable figure, so head over there, pick this guy up. But before you do that, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.